Yes, sir.
Mr. Nader, you've spoken very, very eloquently tonight about family values and the need for all of us to work together to make the country better. You've spoken even more eloquently about the criminal war that's now taking place in Iraq that was fomented and arranged by a criminal element, Bush and Cheney. The gentleman over there said you'd make a good family values president. But we all know that you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of becoming president.
How about in heaven?
You're very articulate, but
I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going. And
that's the question.
And the question is the same question that Jon Stewart asked you on the Daily Show, but he was much nicer. And I don't feel the need to be nice to you.
Right.
Why do you feel 3,100 lives is worth you pushing your version of where we're going?
Because Gore won the election. It was stolen from Tallahassee to Washington.
That doesn't fly.
Wait, just a minute.
That doesn't fly.
Let's see what else. Just a moment. Let's see what else flies. Let's see what else flies. If you don't think stealing an election in a series of events before, during, and after the election day in 2000 is sufficient, let's see what else flies. 250,000 Democrats in Florida voted for Bush. 5 minority party candidates had far more votes that would have gone to Bush than the difference between Bush and Gore before the Supreme Court of Florida was prevented from a whole state recount. He didn't win his home state of Tennessee, which usually presidential candidates do. That would have won the election. He didn't win his home state of Arkansas. That would have won the election. And I can give you a dozen other what-ifs. And it's interesting that you just pick on the Green Party what-if. And why do you think I'm a second-class citizen? Would you think the anti-slavery party was second-class? Would you think that people shouldn't have voted for the Women's Right to Vote Party or the Worker Party and the Farmer Progressive Party in the 19th century? And we handed Gore the issues he could have won, but he wasn't courageous enough to pick them up. Ones that the old Democratic Party would have known. Living wage, a real unified universal health care. Truman would have adopted that. Kennedy would have adopted that. FDR would have adopted that. These two parties have made our elections a commodity to sell. They have gerrymandered districts where they deprive you of the choice of a competitive two-party system. I'm quite sure that in California, almost every member of the House gets reelected, with 1 or 2 exceptions, every 2 years, because either dominant Republican, dominant Democrat. We handed Gore, and we sent it to him. We handed Gore and his associates these issues, and we said, we're inside the electoral arena. You want to take our issues so you take our votes? Be our guest. I went around the country tearing Bush apart in terms of his Texas record, which the Democrats failed to do. They could have listened to that. They could have picked up some of these passages. They could have landslided George W. Bush and sent him back to Crawford, Texas. Second, the war in Iraq. When he started that war in Iraq, he went back to the Clinton administration. You know, Clinton was responsible for those UN sanctions that physician teams from the U.S. estimated cost 500,000 Iraqi children lives in the 90s. He went back to Clinton and he told us, you, me, and others, that Clinton bombed Iraq because of Saddam, and that Clinton passed a resolution through the Congress saying it was the foreign policy of the U.S. to overthrow Saddam, and he used that against the Democrats and helped shut up the Democrats. And finally, the Democrats could have blocked him on the war if they had courage in Congress. They could have blocked him on the Patriot Act. They could have blocked him on the tax cuts for the war. I would never in 1,000 years deny you the right to run for office, no matter what your position was, because that is the First Amendment right of our Constitution. You can argue with me, but to tell me I shouldn't have run is to tell me I shouldn't have spoken, I shouldn't have petitioned, I shouldn't have assembled. That is unacceptable.
I don't